Welcome to another edition of A Game a Day by Zay. I'm Ask Isaiah Rose, and this is the Ask Isaiah YouTube page presentation of NBA basketball. I bring to you the Charlotte Hornets versus the Los Angeles Clippers. The Hornets come in with a record of 20 and 20, while the Clippers come in with a record of 26 and 16. The Hornets are sixth in the East, while the Clippers are fourth in the West. Both teams are on stark contrast of the totem pole in this respect. The Hornets are exceeding expectations, while the Clippers are, I wouldn't say, uh, playing playing under expectations because they're still a top tier team and considered a top tier team, but they aren't living up to the expectations that were set for them last year. When you think about the Hornets, they were 23 and 42 last year. Obviously, they missed the playoffs. Uh, they did not even scratch the surface of anything remotely close to a competitive team. This year, they have a host of young players that were there last year with the addition of the potential superstar in LaMelo Ball. He's the front runner for MVP, not MVP. He's the front runner for Rookie of the Year this year. He's been a player that has averaged close to 20 points per game since becoming a starter. He's averaging 16.6 rebounds and 6 assists. But he's not the only one contributing to this Hornets team. You have the likes of Gordon Hayward, who came over as a free agent this past offseason from the Boston Celtics. As a Boston Celtics for 3 seasons, he averaged just under 14 points per game. With the Hornets this year, he's averaging over 20 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. The likes of his performance complemented with Terry Rozier in his second year in Charlotte, averaging 20 points this year, playing more efficiently next to the likes of LaMelo Ball. You have balance with a great bench with Devontae Graham. You also have Miles Bridges. Malik Monk is coming into his own this season. So you look at what Charlotte has done. Although they're on a two-game losing streak, they're 6-4 in their last 10, and they're playing great. When you look at the Clippers, I mentioned not living up to the expectations set for them last year. A lot of that had to do with the fact that they lost in the second round and the fashion in which they lost in the second round. When you bring in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George in the offseason, when you uh, trade for Marcus Morris, when you have Lou Williams coming off the bench, Montrezl Harrell to fortify that bench, when you have a big personality in Patrick Beverly, you are supposed to win a championship. That was expected, especially bringing in Kawhi Leonard, coming off of a championship with Toronto, to have the regular season that they had. They kind of coasted. The only games that mattered perception wise were the games against the Los Angeles Lakers, with which were all competitive. The Clippers played top notch, even even when we got to the bubble, obviously with the season being delayed due to COVID. Getting to the bubble, seeing the Lakers play the Clippers down to the wire, all of those games, put them in a melting pot. You expected to see that in the Western Conference Finals on the way to a championship, win or lose, right? That didn't happen. The Clippers got to the playoffs and struggled against the Dallas Mavericks. They got exploited by Luka Doncic, and even though the Mavericks lost, they exposed a lot of the flaws that came to a head against the Denver Nuggets. Playing elite for the majority of games, only to blow double-digit leads down the stretch, lack of execution without a premier point guard really uh, hurt the hurt the Clippers. And when you add to the fact that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George were in and out of the lineup the entire regular season, they didn't have the cohesion necessary to really overcome adversity when things got tough, and it showed. Now you change coaches. Doc Rivers is in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the number one seed in the East. The Clippers, like I said, are fourth in the West. Ty Lue has taken over, similar to what he did with Cleveland and taking over after David Blatt. The Cavs won the championship in 2016. They expect that championship pedigree to rub off on this team, who still has some of the same struggles they had last year. They're elite up until a certain point. They beat the elite teams. They struggle against the bad teams because they take their foot off the gas. They still blow leads. And while Kawhi's been in the lineup more consistently this year, they're having issues with. Uh, they had earlier issues in the season with Lou Williams missing games, and there's been some inconsistencies with Paul George here and there over the last couple of weeks. So because of that, here we are. But this is an opportunity for the Clippers to set the tone against the likes of a team that's up and coming, trying to establish themselves in the East. If they can get a 6 seed, the Hornets would avoid the playing game, which would be amazing considering where they came from. But they still know they have work to do to be considered amongst the league's elite. So this is an opportunity for the Clippers at home to set the tone and make an example of the Hornets. But the Hornets can pull an upset and potentially make a name for themselves here on this West Coast trip. Despite losing to the Lakers in their previous game, the Clippers could potentially be a big win for them. So we'll be back with more. This is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by Ask Isaiah's YouTube page. Stay tuned for more. Clippers versus Hornets coming up next. Welcome back. This is a Game of Day by Zay. I'm Ask Isaiah Rhodes, and the Los Angeles Clippers are at home against the Charlotte Hornets. I'm here to give you the starting five for both teams. As Charlotte starting five is LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, and Bismack Biyombo. LaMelo had 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists in his previous game against the Los Angeles Lakers. Rozier had 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, while Gordon Hayward, who's averaging 20 points per game this year, had a down game, only 7 points, 9 rebounds, but he did have 10 assists, showcasing his ability to set up others. For the Clippers, their starting five will be Reggie Jackson, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, and Ivica Zubac. When you look at the previous matchup against the Dallas Mavericks, in which the Clippers lost by 16, 105 to 89. Paul George did have 28.7 rebounds and 5 assists, shooting 10 of 20 from the floor. Kawhi had 20.7 rebounds and 7 assists. Marcus Morris had 11.7 rebounds and 2 assists, while Zubac had 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Zubac will be making his fourth start of the season tonight. That's in stark contrast to last year, in which he started 70 of the Clippers games. But the Clippers will be without Patrick Beverley once again tonight. He's been in and out of the lineup so far this season due to injury. And again, when you have a player like Patrick Beverley, who is an irritant at best, his reputation is known for defense. He hasn't been as sharp or as consistent defensively as we've known him to be over the previous years, but he's a man that brings in energy consistently for this team. So let's see how the Clippers come out of the gate against a team like the Hornets. Will they struggle to gain cohesive offense, or will they be aggressive and try to set the tone against the Charlotte Hornets? Let's see. Um, Also, I want to point out that for the Clippers this season, Paul George is averaging 23.6 rebounds and 5 assists. Kawhi is averaging 26 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 5 assists. To see Kawhi and Paul getting these assist numbers in the fashion that they have, obviously they're being used by Coach Ty Lue to make up for the lack of a point guard. But this trade deadline is coming up on March 25th. Can they make a move to push for a Kyle Lowry, maybe even Alonzo Ball? A lot is in play. A lot has been made about Kyle Lowry's last year potentially in Toronto. Can he make another run for a championship? Obviously, he won a championship with Serge Ibaka and Kawhi Leonard in Toronto, so they have that connection there. Let's see if they can push to get him there to study the ship, especially under pressure when things get tight. That remains to be seen. We still have many moons and many days many days ahead of the trade deadline, so that remains to be seen. But to start this game, Hornets Clippers. Hornets win the tip. Serge Ibaka is not starting, so let's see how the Hornets are able to exploit the interior Their front line is really, really small. Cody Zeller usually uh, in the rotation. He's out tonight. So you have PJ Washington starting. Also, they're gonna bring Miles Bridges off the bench. So let's see how Bridges and and Washington are able to battle against the likes of Zubac. A missed shot for the Hornets. Possession goes to the Clippers. Left wing extended. Kawhi Leonard guarded by Gordon Hayward. Reggie Jackson gets a switch with Hayward on him. He kicks it out to Kawhi Leonard, who goes to Paul George for a right wing three. So Paul George breaks the seal of the game, the first field goal made, a three. Hornets with the basketball. LaMelo Ball takes the crossover, kicks it out to Rozier. Rozier goes to PJ Washington in the corner, the left corner, tries to drive across the lane for a hook shot. No good. Rebounded by Marcus Morris. Morris trying to find Zubac inside. Zubac trying to kick out to Reggie Jackson is stolen by LaMelo Ball, and he's fouled by Reggie Jackson. Great defense there by LaMelo Ball to play the passing lane. As we look at this, Reggie Jackson kick out to Kawhi Leonard. He finds Paul George in stride on the right wing to knock down the three. Big shot by Paul George. So we look at LaMelo Ball. He kicks it out to Bismack Biyombo. Dribble handoff to Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward finds Biyombo under the basket. Strong two-hand slam by Bismack Biyombo. So inside already we see Biyombo getting an early touch. Zubac got an early touch as well. He didn't score, but it's always good to keep your big engaged early because when a center gets early baskets, it impacts their defense as well. So to see Biyombo get that early slam, let's see how he is on the boards or defensively. Looking to respond, the Clippers get a mid-range basket from Marcus Morris, free throw line extended turnaround jumper. Terry Rozier pick and roll with Biyombo. Biyombo looked to kick it out to Gordon Hayward in the left corner, but it sails out of bounds. So turnover by the Hornets. Possession goes back to the Clippers. As we see a graphic with Patrick Beverley. When Patrick Beverley plays, the Clippers are 105 and 53, 105 wins and 53 losses. Versus when he doesn't play, they're 18 and 20. So 18 wins compared to 20 losses. That just goes to show you the impact that he makes. When you think about him, he's not a prolific player in any stretch of the word, but his energy is infectious. And to see a player of his caliber consistently bring that, uh, you need that from a dirty work standpoint. In response, out of bounds, great find by Kawhi Leonard to set up Paul George, flashing to the rim, able to get a two-hand slam. So already with 5 points for Paul George, very aggressive early, looking to set the tone. Hornets with the basketball. Rozier looking to find Gordon Hayward, guarded by Reggie Jackson. Jab step back into the post. Turnaround jumper for Hayward. Rolls off the front rim, rebounded by Zubac. Reggie Jackson with the basketball. Working the right sideline, looking for Paul George in the post, guarded by Rozier. Kick out to Reggie Jackson, right wing three. Good. So Reggie Jackson into the scoreboard. Reggie Jackson this season, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Hornets 104 from the floor. Looking to probe, kick out to PJ Washington. Washington kicks out to Gordon Hayward. 3-point shot for Rozier is good. So the 3-point line is open for everyone tonight. Reggie Jackson with the basketball. Clippers lead 10-5. He's able to score in response. LaMelo Ball back to Rozier. Rozier just knocked down a 3-point shot guarded by Paul George. Rozier gets it to Biyombo. Dribble handoff to Rozier. Back to Biyombo. Left hand layup is good. So great two-man game there from Rozier and Biyombo. Biyombo already with 2 quick baskets, a two-hand slam, and a left-hand layup. 12-7 Clippers lead. Marcus Morris to Kawhi Leonard. Leonard gets it to Paul George. George dumps it inside to Zubac. Zubac with the layup, able to seal Biyombo on the right side of the rim, able to get the reverse on the left side with the right hand. Strong finish. As Rozier looks to drive, kicks it to Biyombo, gets it out to LaMelo Ball. Ball finds Rozier in the left corner, 3-point shot, no good. Reggie Jackson with the rebound, guarded by Gordon Hayward, takes the screen from Zubac. Over to Kawhi Leonard, left corner three, no good, rebounded by Gordon Hayward. Clippers 6 of 8 from the field. Hornets 3 of 7. Hayward 3, knocks it down straight away 3, very aggressive. So 14-10, Clippers lead, back and forth we go. This is the type of cohesive offense we're talking about on both sides. Both sides getting everything they want offensively. Kawhi gets the mismatch with Biyombo out on the perimeter. He takes the screen from Reggie Jackson, looks to exploit Rozier. Back to Reggie Jackson, jab step on the left wing. Crossover dribble, going left, pull-up jumper, good. So Reggie Jackson is in the groove offensively. Clippers up 2 possessions, 16-10. Reggie Jackson already 3 of 3 from the field, 7 points. LaMelo Ball gets it to P.J. Washington. Ball, jab step on Morris, pull-up jumper, misses it on the front rim, rebounded Reggie Jackson. Jackson looking to push, slows down, gets to the right corner, goes baseline, looks to kick it out, but it hits the bottom of the backboard. Hits the bottom of the backboard. That'll be a Clippers turnover, so we'll get a timeout. As we look at this replay, great find from Kawhi Leonard to Paul George on the baseline to get an early dunk. Clippers lead 16-10, 6:20 remaining in the first quarter. We'll be back with more. I'm Ask Isaiah Rose. This is a game a day by Zay. The Clippers lead the Hornets 16-10. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. Clippers lead 16-10. The Hornets are keeping pace. They're getting good shots. Both teams knocking down the 3 ball. The thing is, the Clippers are utilizing the rebounds to attack on a fast break. And in doing so, you've seen Paul George be very, very aggressive. They're keeping Zubac engaged, and we're seeing Reggie Jackson with his hands all over the game very, very early. So far for the Hornets, they're getting great contributions from Bismack Biyombo, and we're seeing Terry Rozier really be involved offensively to set the tone. So far, LaMelo Ball hasn't really been aggressive and assertive, but we're sure to see his impact coming really, really soon. So out of that timeout, Hornets get possession after that Reggie Jackson turnover. As we see Ty Lue giving final instruction to Zubac. Zubac in the last 2 games as a starter, 14.5 points per game, 14 of 17 from the floor, and 9 rebounds per game. So if he can provide that type of aggressiveness and consistency for this time, especially while Serge Ibaka is out, that'll be really, really big for the Clippers. Wait, they say they changed that. They say possession goes to the Clippers there. I'm not quite sure why, but that 3 knocked down by Paul George out of that timeout. So Clippers up by 9, 19-10. Jab step, 6 on the shot clock for Gordon Hayward. Hayward pull-up jumper, back rims it, rebounded Reggie Jackson. Again, Reggie Jackson's hands are all over this basketball game. Looking to attack the inside, cut off by LaMelo Ball. Great defense there by him and Miles Bridges. Kawhi Leonard, guarded by Rozier, 10 on the shot clock. Fadeaway jumper on the baseline is good. So that old reliable mid-range game for Kawhi. Clippers on the 7-0 run right now. Floated by LaMelo Ball. His first basket is good at the 5:21 mark in the first quarter. 9-point game, 21-12. Clippers lead. Kawhi Leonard guarded by Bridges. Takes the screen from Paul George, works it around the perimeter. They get to the left side. Left wing 3, Marcus Morris is good. So Clippers keeping pace, staying cohesive, moving the basketball 4 of 5 from 3-point land, while the Hornets are 2 of 4 from 3-point land. Working around the mid post, we see mid-range jumper for Gordon Hayward, knocked down 10-point game, 24-14. Paul George on the right wing pulls up for the jumper. It's good. So we got another 3 for Paul George. Very, very aggressive here in this first quarter. 27-14, the Clippers lead. Paul George, it has been the catalyst for what the Clippers have been doing. We'll be back with more. This is a game of day by Zay as the Los Angeles Clippers lead the Charlotte Hornets 27-14. Stay tuned for more. 4:38 remaining in the first. And we're back. As we come back out of that timeout, they adjust one of Paul George's threes. It is actually now 26-14 Hornets with possession. Cody Martin into the game now for the Hornets. He attacks the paint, looking to get inside. Euro step blocked by Zubac. Paul George looking to push, works the right sideline. In and out, crossover dribble, stops, back to Morris, gets it to Lou Williams. Lou Williams over to Kawhi. They work it back to Paul George. Paul George on the right wing, crossover dribble on Martin. Draws contact, able to finish. Strong finish by Paul George there. Paul George is on his toes. He's active. You can see from start to finish right now, the Clippers are 12 of 14, extremely efficient. The Hornets are 6 of 13, still getting quality shots, but just the Clippers are just a tier above right now. Martin tries to get a jump shot off the mid-range left block, but there will be a moving screen on Biyombo as we see the replay block there by Zubac to start that fast break opportunity. Big block by Zubac. So Clippers with the ball, 3:50 remaining in the first quarter. Clippers up 28-14. Paul George on the left block, guarded by Terry Rozier. Gets it to Kawhi. They work it back to the right wing, Lou Will. Back to Kawhi, over to Paul George. Inside for Kawhi. Thought about a shot, kicks it over to Lou Will. Inside for Zubac, blocked, deflected, by Martin, Cody Martin. His brother is also on the team, Caleb Martin. Stolen by the Clippers. Clippers looking to get out and run. We got a foul in not the backcourt, the front of the backcourt, the front of the timeline, right in front. So to stop the fast break, good foul there by Cody Martin. 28-14, Clippers lead. 3:21 remaining in the first. Nicholas Batum into the game. Tries to get a pass over to Kawhi Leonard. Slightly deflected. Good defense here from the Hornets, preventing any easy passes. We see Lou Will. Lou Will is one of the best six men in the history of the game. He's actually 33 points away from 15,000 points in his career. If you look at his career trajectory, initially being drafted by the likes of the Philadelphia 76ers, to see what he's become since then, obviously winning the Six Man of the Year award with Toronto, Atlanta, and the Clippers. He's just been an amazing player all the way around, and to see the longevity he's played with is a testament to his work. The Hornets able to get a three from Devontae Graham. Graham playing the six-man role this year, averaging 13 points, 5 points down from his 18 last year, but he's been contributing to a winning situation. And as I mentioned earlier, the balance with which this Hornets team is played with, I mentioned LaMelo Ball's 16 points per game. Gordon Hayward has 20 points per game. Rozier has 20 points per game. For you to fall off 5 points but still be amongst the team leaders in scoring shows how efficient he has to be with this team, and he's playing really, really well. Coming into the game for the Clippers is Terrence Mann. Mann, very young, still trying to get his bones in the league, but he's playing much more than he did last year. He came on late, especially in the bubble for the Clippers as they prepared to ramp up for the playoffs. But you see now, especially at the point guard position, he's definitely getting more minutes. Hornets with the basketball. Devontae Graham, floater inside, no good. Rebounded by Kawhi Leonard. He gets the outlet pass to Man, and Man on cue scores as Miles Bridges tries to get a block, but they call a goaltend on the fast break. So good effort on both ends. Great outlet pass from Kawhi to Man, and a goaltend by Miles Bridges trying to get that block. So 30-17, Clippers lead. And as Cody Martin tried to drive and get a finish. Patrick Patterson, who's in the game for the first time, tried to prevent that easy lane, and he's called for the foul. So Cody Martin, out of Nevada, a second round pick for the Hornets in 2019, will be going to the free throw line. His brother Caleb also went to Nevada. And the first free throw is no good. Clippers tonight playing very, very efficient, playing cohesive, getting the type of shots that Coach Ty Lue wants as Martin goes 1 of 2. 2 minutes remaining in the first. Clippers lead 18-30. Terrence Mann with the basketball, guarded by Graham. Patrick Patterson works it around to Williams. Williams guarded by Martin. Lue looking to set up Kawhi in the post in that left corner. Kicks it to Batum on the right wing. Couldn't finish the three, but Kawhi's there for the offensive rebound, and the putback is good. Great effort on the offensive glass there from Kawhi. 14-point lead as we see the Clippers now with 14 points in the paint compared to 6 in the paint for the Hornets. 3-point shot on the right wing for P.J. Washington is an air ball. Possession will go to the Clippers. As we look at this replay, Batum got a wide open right wing 3, unable to get it to fall. Kawhi beat Martin on the glass. Great finish there. Able to go right back up. The basket is good. So it's a 14-point game, 32-18 inside for Lou Williams. Lou Williams back out to Mann. Mann kicks it to Lou Williams. Up fake on Miles Bridges, and the 3-pointer is no good, but we have a foul on Bridges. That's the veteran leadership, the crafty savviness that Lou Williams has established over time. Scorers are going to find ways to score. Lou trying to work his way back into a rhythm compared to his previous years, averaging close to 20 points per game. He's only averaging 12 this year. But Lou is a player that knows how to find the basket. And to get those early free throws going in, you get the ball in the basket, the rim starts to feel like an ocean. And now your zone is starting to pick up. And that'll be good for Lou, especially down the latter parts of this game and probably building momentum to further games. So 3 for 3 at the free throw line for Williams. Clippers up 17 now as we approach a minute remaining in the first quarter, 35-17. This is a Game of Day by Zay. This is the Ask Isaiah YouTube channel presentation of NBA basketball. Gordon Hayward trying to kick out to Malik Monk. Monk steps out of bounds. Possession goes back to the Clippers. Clippers making everything easy. Clippers making everything very, very difficult for the Hornets on the perimeter. They're still trying to find good shots within the offense, but it's tough to move the basketball right now. Patrick Patterson inside off of a pick and roll with Lou Williams. His shot doesn't fall. Gordon Hayward trying to set up P.J. Washington inside. He goes to Bridges. Bridges kicks out to Malik Monk for 3, and it's good. Great ball movement there. One thing for the Hornets, they're utilizing that 3 ball. The 3 ball is keeping them in the game somewhat. They're still down 14, but that's one area of success they've been able to utilize tonight so far. 24 seconds left in the first. Lou Will over to Patrick Patterson. Patrick Patterson, up fake kick inside, to Nicholas Batum is good on a fadeaway. So 16-point lead for the Clippers, 37-21. We got a foul called against Mann as he fouls Devontae Graham. Dribbling the basketball. Shot clock is off. 9 seconds left. That was a foul they give for the Clippers. So you get to see the Clippers lock in defensively. We get a substitution for the Clippers as coming into the game, Amir Coffey, his first appearance into the game. Washington over to Hayward. Hayward on the left wing gets it to Bridges. Bridges thought about a 3. 2 seconds left. Pull up jumper. No good. Rebounded by Mann. And the Clippers go into the second quarter up 16, 37-21. Have been in control. Have been efficient. They've been able to get everything they want, and that's why they have a 16-point lead. The Hornets have been knocking down the three, but they have to figure out a way to stop the Clippers defensively. We'll be back with more. This is a Game of Day by Zay. Ask Isaiah YouTube channel presentation of NBA basketball. Stay tuned for more. As we start the second quarter, welcome back. Clippers lead 37-21. They've been in control. Paul George has been at the head of this attack for the Clippers, with spread around help from the likes of Reggie Jackson and Ivan Zubac that have put the Clippers in control. The Hornets have tried to keep pace. They're knocking down the three-point shot. Really, they're getting efficient shots, but their issue is that they can't really get clean passes in. A lot of their work has had to go against the latter part of the shot clock. They're having to fight to get into the paint. The Clippers have lived in the paint. They've been able to attack. A lot of that has been off draw and kick opportunities that have set up the three-point shots from working around the perimeter, having the Hornets scramble around. So if you're head coach Ty Lue, you're satisfied with what you're getting offensively, knowing that your team is the superior team right now. Paul George with the basketball, looking to set up Patrick Patterson inside for a two-hand slam. The two go all the way back to Oklahoma City, with which they played together for 2 years. That chemistry obviously showcasing itself right there as Paul George attacked, was able to set up Patrick Patterson for an easy finish inside. Gordon Hayward's left wing three, no good. Rebounded by Patterson. He gets it to Paul George. George gets it ahead to Lou Williams. Lou Williams is able to score. So the Clippers up by 20, 41-21. PJ Washington dribble handoff to Graham. Graham trying to find Washington inside. We got a kick ball. What a find for Paul George. George attacking, draws two defenders, and the setup for Patrick Patterson is there. Patrick Patterson is a player that has to play off of stars. We can look at his track record. He plays off of stars going back to Kentucky with the likes of John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, and Eric Bledsoe. Their Elite Eight run versus West Virginia set up a one and done opportunity for those three players, but Patrick Patterson was able to stand in their light and find himself in the NBA. Now he's a three-point specialist. He's 6'10". They use him for rebounding every now and then, but he has to play off of stars. While I was speaking about Patrick Patterson, Devontae Graham knocked in a three from the left wing. 17-point game now, 41-24. Paul George in the right corner, guarded by Cody Martin. And we got a pass intended for Lou Williams, but it hits the end line. So we look at the replay as the Hornets working around the perimeter to Graham. He's able to knock it down. Takes another three from the left wing, unable to get it to fall. So that was more of a heat check three right there. Lou Will crossover dribble right wing, guarded by Martin. Lou Will almost had Hayward up in the air for up fake. 7 on the shot clock. He has to get a shot off. Pull up three, left wing, no good. Rebounded by Gordon Hayward. Hayward attacking Jalen Mann, trying to get a shot off. Has it deflected, and the Clippers are out running. What a pass from Paul George to Patrick Patterson on the fast break. This slam is there for Patrick Patterson. So we look at the points in the paint again. Clippers with 22 compared to the Hornets with 6. Malik Monk's jumper in response, no good. Offensive rebound there for PJ Washington, and he gets the putback. So the Hornets just trying to hang around as best they can right now. Right now, the Clippers are running on all cylinders, getting everything they want. And when I say that, Lou Williams gets a crossover dribble inside for the layup. He misses, but he gets his putback and the finish. So right now, the Clippers are dominating. Again, getting everything they want. The Hornets have to reconvene after we can look at this replay. The steal by the Clippers. Paul George gets a one-hand pass to the likes of Patrick Patterson, and we'll be coming back after Hornets timeout. Stay tuned for more. So we're back out of that timeout. The Clippers in control. The Hornets have to figure out how to stop this machine from rolling right now. This is the apex of ultimate Clippers performances. When you look at how efficient they've been, everyone has been involved. Even when you look at what Kawhi has done, Kawhi hasn't really had to put his foot on the gas right now. He's letting the game come to him when he's in the game. Really, this is about Paul George really setting the table for everyone. He's playing off of his aggressiveness, getting into the paint, and setting up others. And then in the process, he's finding easy baskets for players that need it, like Patrick Patterson, like Zubac. When you see all of that, that shows you the potential with which this team could be. Up 18, pardon me, up 19, 45 to 26. Hornets with the basketball. Martin kicks out to LaMelo Ball. He finds Gordon Hayward for a right wing three. It's good. So again, the one area where the Hornets have been able to thrive is the 3-point line. Jalen Mann works the left wing, guarded by Ball. They work it around to Paul George, left wing three, no good. Rebounded by Mann. Mann over to Lou Williams in the right corner, guarded by LaMelo Ball. Up fake once again. He'll be going to the free throw line, shooting three. That's the craftiness. That's a lesson that LaMelo will have to learn over time. Hey, you got to exploit the youth when it's there in spurts. Lou was able to do that. He's teaching tonight. He'll be going to the free throw line for his second opportunity to shoot 3 free throws. Lou, in his last 5 games against the Hornets, averaging 29.2 points per game, 57% from 3, and 6.4 assists per game. When you see that level of prolific scoring from the likes of Lou Will, obviously he's very comfortable with the personnel that the Hornets put out there. But I'm interested in looking at the assists because of Lou's prowess as a scorer. Most teams just use him in spurts as a microwave type of guy, a guy that can heat up whenever they need him to, and he's very, very potent in that. But when you see the 6.4 assists, he's showing you that he can create for others, and that's something that the Clippers, specifically with this type of team, need. Yes, you can score. We need you to score. But more importantly, we need to keep the offense cohesive, and we need players that can set up shots for others as well. So Lou makes 2 of 3 so far. That last free throw is good. So it's a 19-point game now, 48 to 29. Hornets in the world of hurt. Clippers shooting 69% from the field right now. Cody Martin gets it over to LaMelo Ball on the right wing. LaMelo probing, works baseline. Hornets get it around to Rozier for a left wing three, no good. Rebounded again by Biyombo, and he's able to get a quick action pass over to Gordon Hayward. Hayward able to draw the foul on Patrick Patterson. Hayward will be going to the free throw line for 2. Hayward is an exceptional free throw shooter so far this season, shooting 87% for the free throw line. He misses the first free throw, so that's the curse of the broadcaster. Apologize, Gordon, but I just want to point out how good you've been from the free throw line this year. I mentioned Hayward's 20 points per game this year. That's a stark contrast from the 13.9 that he averaged with the Celtics the previous 3 seasons. A lot of that was injury riddled, and he really couldn't catch a rhythm with the team because he was always in and out of the lineup. But he's definitely motivated to prove himself. He got a 4-year contract with the Hornets, and he's just been balling out of control. You got to respect it. Clippers with the basketball. We got a foul. Called against Morris, so possession will go back to the Hornets. 18-point game, 48 to 30, 8 minutes remaining in the first half. I'm Ask Isaiah Rose. This is the Game of the Day by Isaiah, presented to you by Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Bismack Biyombo dribble handoff to Hayward. Hayward thought about a shot, kicks it back out to Cody Martin. As Rozier with the basketball finds LaMelo Ball for a left wing three. He misses his short, rebounded by Nicholas Batum. Batum, the pass was intended for him by Lou Williams. Great defense there by LaMelo to play the passing lane, utilizing his wingspan and length to make that pass difficult. Those are the opportunities that the Hornets can definitely utilize to get easy opportunities when it's there. Possession stays with the Clippers though. 10 on the shot clock. Paul George in control, kicks out to Lou Will. Lou Will finds Morris. Morris up fakes, kicks out to George. 4 on the shot clock. 3 no good. Rebounded by Biyombo. He gets it to Gordon Hayward. Hayward crosses that timeline, slows down, directs, finds Cody Martin, back to Biyombo. Biyombo trying to score, kicks out to Rozier. Rozier floater inside. We got a foul. Foul called against his former teammate Morris. Both played with the Celtics back in 2017, 18, pardon me, 2018 and 19. In 2018, the Celtics went to the Eastern Conference Finals, lost in 7 games to LeBron and the Cavs. In 19, when Kyrie Irving and Hayward came back, the cohesiveness just wasn't there, and we saw the team underachieve and lose in the second round to the Milwaukee Bucks. What a pass from Paul George to Kawhi Leonard on the fast break there. A two-hand slam from Kawhi. His catch radius has to be very, very high considering the fact that he has a long wingspan and huge hands. Great find from Paul George there. In and out dribble from Gordon Hayward. He kicks out to LaMelo Ball. Ball with the scoop shot. Layup is good. Great scoop shot there from LaMelo Ball. 18-point game, 50-32. Clippers lead. Inside for Zubac. Zubac has a foul called. That'll be a blocking foul called against LaMelo. Let's look at this replay. Paul George probing, able to find Kawhi. Kawhi sneaks behind the Hornets defense. I don't know how you lose Kawhi Leonard like that, but it happened, and Kawhi got an easy two-hand slam off the find by Paul George. So 6:22 remaining in the first half. Clippers possession. 50-32. Paul George gets a well-deserved break right now. He's been in control the entire game. Reggie Jackson over to Kawhi Leonard. Leonard guarded by Bismack Biyombo. Able to get inside, draw contact on Biyombo. So again, Paul George has been in control so much tonight that Kawhi has been able to let the offense come to him. He hasn't had to force anything, and that's a good sight to see considering he struggled against the Mavericks, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, but it was a blowout before it even got started. Kawhi attacks Biyombo again for a layup, so putting the Clippers back up 20. Kawhi tonight only 8 points, 4 or 5 from the floor, but he hasn't had to really press the gas because Paul has been so efficient. Cody Martin looking to get a shot, instead kicks out to Miles Bridges. 3-point shot straight away. It's good at the top of the key. 17-point game. Again, the Hornets have thrived from the three-point line. 4 of 10 from 3 for the Clippers. 7 of 16 from 3 for the Hornets. As we got a steal, the pass intended for Kawhi inside is stolen. LaMelo tried to get out and run. The Clippers were able to stop the fast break with a foul. As we see Hornets with the basketball. 5:30 remaining in the first half. LaMelo thought about a three, instead finds Rozier driving, and he's fouled once again. Fouled again by Marcus Morris. And one of the things I will say about any scorer, I always try to encourage scorers to work off the ball. Working off the ball will diversify your game in ways that many don't truly understand. Yes, when you have the ball, it's good to have skills with the ball. You want to be able to score off the dribble, create your own shot, even set up for others, right? But when you don't have the ball and you stand still, you become easy to guard. If you move off the ball, you'll burn out the defense. And when you finally do get the ball, you will have them scrambling in ways that you can get easier shots off the dribble because they're trying to catch up to you from chasing you for the last 20 seconds of the 24-second shot clock. So, any scorer out there that's trying to become a well-versed and versatile scorer, yes, have all the skills necessary with the basketball. You want to be able to dribble. You want to be able to create all of that good stuff. But if you look at the best all-around scorers, they can find baskets off the ball as well. So Rozier makes his free throws. Then coming back, we get a bucket from Zubac. LaMelo Ball up fake, try to get a shot off, rebounded by Bismack Biyombo, gets it back to LaMelo for three, back rim, misses it. Zubac with the rebound, finds Reggie Jackson. Jackson looking for Kawhi, had that pass deflected by LaMelo. LaMelo's been playing great defense in the passing lanes, trying to attack, getting a shot at the rim. Instead, he's fouled to go to the free throw line for two. 4:44 remaining in the first half. So we look at Zubac's previous basket, able to catch the ball, stop his momentum, take a gathered dribble, and then go straight up on Bridges without committing an offensive foul. Great poise there by Zubac, able to use the defender's momentum against him. Stop, able to gather, get an easy finish. LaMelo misses that first free throw as we look at his first 20 games off the bench, averaging 12 points, 6 assists. Since becoming a starter in the last 20 games, he's averaging just under 20 points per game, still averaging a little over 6 assists, but you can see the scoring increasing because he's getting more minutes and obviously he's more comfortable with the basketball. Clippers up 16. George finds Kawhi back to Batum. Batum trying to find Paul George, has it stolen by Rozier. Rozier pushing the pace, trying to find a quick basket for the Hornets. Attacking his LaMelo Ball. He misses his floater inside. Bismack Biyombo gets the offensive rebound. Great effort there. But his pass, it goes a bit too high for Miles Bridges, and that'll be a backcourt violation on the Clippers. As LaMelo is trying to politic a call with the ref. You gotta gauge the refs every now and then, have some conversations about what's going on, where it's supposed to be. He's obviously looking for more calls on his drives, getting more contact. So Clippers basketball, Kawhi Leonard on the right corner, drives into the lane, free throw line extended, the fadeaway wasn't good, rebounded by Cody Martin. Rozier catches the ball, tried to split defenders, stolen by Kawhi Leonard. Leonard working the right wing is fouled before he even got to the three-point line, trying to slow that momentum down. So 3:50 remaining in the second quarter. Clippers up 16. This is the ideal game for Ty Lue and the Clippers. They're able to work their rotation in. Everybody's been involved. Everybody's been touching the basketball. They've been able to get shots, cohesive shots. They're in control defensively, and they're going against a young team that's going to make the mistakes, and they're capitalizing on those mistakes. So Kawhi Leonard again gets the mismatch with Biyombo on the perimeter. Instead, goes to Paul George for three. He misses a three, but on the offensive rebound, Zubac finds George back in the left corner. He knocks it down. So 15 points for Paul George. Great effort on the offensive glass there by Zubac. Able to find Paul George in one motion to knock in the three. 19-point game, 57-38. What a steal by Nicholas Batum off a pass intended for Terry Rozier. Playing the passing lane, you get a two-hand slam. Batum doing his job. Miles Bridges dribble handoff to Graham. Graham up fake, have Reggie Jackson on the move. He gets the ball back from Bridges. 14 on the shot clock, looking to take a screen from Biyombo. Right wing extended. Biyombo floater inside is good. Great find there from Devontae Graham. The intermediate game between him and Biyombo was a beautiful sight to see. Timeout called by the Clippers. They're in control, looking to continue their winning ways. Losing to the likes of the Dallas Mavericks in the fashion that they did. They want to set a tone. Up 19, 59-40, 240, 59-40, 246 remaining in the first half. Stay tuned for more. I'm asking Isaiah Rose, a game a day, presented by Zay. Stay tuned. We're back. The Clippers lead by 19, 59-40, 2:46 remaining in the first half. They've been in control the entire time. I've mentioned ad nauseum about Paul George just being the ultimate aggressor. When we look at the graphic that shows how dominant the Clippers have been with Paul George and Kawhi in the lineup, 21-7 last year, 20-8 this year. That just goes to show you that when they're together, the cohesiveness is there. The Clippers are going to be good. The issue is that they've been in and out of the lineup for whether it be rest management last year, you're dealing with nagging injuries this year. Whatever the case may be, when you don't have your stars in the lineup on a consistent basis, it's hard to go develop any cohesion under pressure when it matters most. And we saw that come back to haunt the Clippers last year. Kawhi's made a concerted effort to play a lot more this year. Um, at this rate, he's definitely going to play more games than he's played in he's going to play more games than he's played in more recent years. So that's good. But outside of him playing more, you still have the injury issues that nagged Lou Williams to start this year. Pat Bev has been in and out now. Serge Ibaka's out. It's always something. But if you have a solid foundation that's established, whenever there are particular injuries, it won't hurt you to the degree that it has hurt the Clippers over the last couple of years. So let's see what this year brings. Um, it's still 59 points for the Clippers. The Hornets got a bucket in between while I was talking. 59-42. Hornets with possession. Miles Bridges gets a left corner three, unable to knock it down, rebounded by Reggie Jackson. Crossover dribble by Paul George, finds Nicholas Batum for a two-hand slam opportunity, but Bridges had to commit the foul to prevent giving up anything easy. So good, good find there on the interior for Batum. Batum had the opportunity to get the M1. Wasn't the easiest, but two free throws, he knocks down the first. Second free throw for Batum on the way. I mentioned Batum's history with the Hornets going back a couple of years. He didn't necessarily play his best, dealing with injuries as well. Plus, the Hornets weren't anywhere close to a winning organization. But a lot of what Batum's reputation is built on was his years with the Portland Trailblazers. A very versatile player. He can do everything, and he's willing to do everything. Defensively, he's has the ultimate wingspan. He's long. He plays multiple positions. He's a good shooter, a willing facilitator, low maintenance. He's the ultimate role player you want to have on a winning team. As we approach a minute remaining in the first half, Hornets trail by 19. Kawhi in the post. Turnaround jumper is no good. Offensive rebound by Patrick Patterson, deflected out of bounds by Devontae Grant. Good initial defense there by Cody Martin to make that shot difficult. If we look at the Clippers this season, when leading by 20 or more, they have a 16-1 record. That one loss came to the Golden State Warriors, where the they just figured out a way to come back in the latter part of that third quarter, going into that fourth, and swung momentum. On that inbound for Jalen Mann, he initially had the inbound, but he stepped over the inline, so that'll be a violation, turnover by the Clippers. Under a minute remaining, Gordon Hayward on the left block looking to set up PJ Washington. He does have the mismatch with Reggie Jackson. Great help defense there by Kawhi. The initial defense by Reggie Jackson was tough, but PJ had the lane. Great timing by Kawhi to come over to help, and PJ wasn't even able to get the shot up on the rim. So great help defense there by Kawhi, and tough initial defense there by Reggie Jackson. So turnover by the Hornets, 19-point lead for the Clippers, 61-42, 30 seconds left in the half. Kawhi with the basketball, looking to attack. Can't get the shot up, but he's fouled. Great up fake there, using the momentum of PJ Washington against him. Leonard will go to the free throw line, usually efficient at the line, very consistent. Tonight hasn't had to do too much. Paul has been in control, but Kawhi still finding a way to impact the game in other ways. 8 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 of 8 from the floor. He makes the first free throw. Coffee back into the game. Second free throw for Kawhi is good. So 29.9 left. Devontae Graham with the basketball. We look at the free throw shooting for the Clippers. They're 10 of 10 tonight. Graham cut off by Batum on the left block. On the left wing, he gets it over to PJ Washington. Washington works it to Cody Martin. Back at the top of the key. For Graham, we got a foul under the rim with the mismatch between Haywood and Jackson. So Haywood will go to the free throw line for 2. 13.4 left in the half. Haywood's first free throw is good. See some substitutions into the game now for the Hornets is Caleb Martin, his first appearance into the game, the twin brother of Cody. Free throw good by Haywood. So 19-point game, 10 on the game clock, 10 seconds left in the half. Paul George with the basketball. Paul George guarded by Caleb Martin. 3-point shot for George is good with 1.4 seconds left. Paul George is on fire. 22-point lead for the Clippers. Paul George with 18 points, a number of 3-point shots, very aggressive in the paint, setting up others. Right now, he's getting everything he wants. So we have a 22-point lead for the Clippers. The Hornets have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to put a dent in this deficit. We'll be back with more. This is the Game of Day by Zay. I'm going to ask Isaiah Rhodes. Stay tuned for the second half between the Clippers and the Hornets. Welcome back as we start the second half between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Charlotte Hornets. Clippers up 22, getting a spectacular performance from Paul George. 18 points. He's been able to hit 4 of 7 3-point shots, and his aggressiveness is permeated through the entire team. Obviously, the Clippers have the better record at 26-16, but the Hornets have been a pesky team. They've been able to make things very, very difficult on any team that they've been playing for the majority of this season. So to see them have the level of success that they've had up until this point is a bit surprising. The Clippers aren't here for the surprises. Paul George has been aggressive. The Clippers have been out rebounding the Hornets at every turn. And when you look at how well the Hornets have been shooting from 3, you would think that the game would be much closer, but it's not. The Clippers have not missed a free throw tonight. They've been able to maximize off turnovers. And again, with Paul George scoring at the level that he has, he's been able to set up others off of his aggressiveness as well. 18 points, 6 assists, 7 of 11 from the floor. The ultimate efficient game. Being up by 22 should allow the Clippers to utilize the depth that they've been working at. Today, that everybody that's gotten the game has had some form of contribution. So that is something that Ty Lue should hang his hat on. But again, we know the history with the Clippers. They tend to blow big leads. So can the Hornets come out aggressive and set the tone in the second half. Maybe they can swing some momentum their way and make the Clippers have to think about it. And once they start thinking, then we can see some mistakes. So let's see. Down 22, Hornets need to find something. Paul George in control, Kawhi Leonard playing within the offense, 10 points for him. Lou Williams with 10 points. In terms of the Hornets, Bismack Biyombo with 6, Devontae Graham with 6, and a host of other players trying to figure out their way. So we got the second half. Hornets, Clippers. LaMelo Ball, a bit quiet in that first half. The spectacular rookie might have to have an aggressive second half if the Hornets want to get back into this game. Reggie Jackson with the basketball over to Paul George to start the second half. Kicks out to Morris. Morris left corner three. Good. So 25-point lead is back in effect. Morris knocks down another three. Rozier with the basketball finds Ball. Let's see if Ball will be aggressive here in the second half. Gordon Hayward on the left wing three, stolen by Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard attacking. He gets a two-hand slam. Pardon me, a one-hand slam. So he slams the ball home. Back come the Hornets, trailing by 27, 71-44. 11 minutes left in the third. Spin move by LaMelo, and we get an and one opportunity. Strong attack to the basket there for LaMelo. Now LaMelo is 6'8". He has the length. Doesn't have the grown man strength just yet. He's only 19 years old. But his confidence is never waning. So to see that finish, to take that contact, spin off, and get the and one opportunity, that's a great sight to see. If you're a LaMelo fan going forward, you want to see him utilize that even more. He is 6'8". He's 6'8", 6'9". Even if he isn't strong enough, he can contort his body enough to draw contact, much more contact than we're used to seeing, and get it to the free throw line. He's a solid free throw shooter, so get it to the free throw line should build his confidence and rhythm, especially with scoring. Clippers come back, get a straightaway three from Reggie Jackson, doesn't fall. 24-point game. Hayward with the basketball, probing, gets into the paint, dribbles back out to the perimeter, goes to PJ Washington. Washington looking to attack the baseline, trying to kick out, has it stolen. Reggie Jackson, crossover dribble, looking for a teammate, finds Zubac. Zubac is fouled under the basket. So Reggie Jackson started the game early in attack mode, getting a couple of baskets with 7. He's been all over the boards. He's a player that has been tasked with having to carry the point guard position for this Clippers team. He was a starter in Detroit. He made his name as a six-man for the Oklahoma City Thunder back in 2013, 2014, but he definitely wanted to be a starter and worked his way to Detroit. After getting that long-term contract, oh, what a pass. Great pass from LaMelo Ball to Gordon Hayward in one motion. In one motion, he tried to find Gordon Hayward with that pass. Unable to get the shot to fall. We get a right wing three from Rozier. That three didn't fall. He gets the rebound back to him, takes another right wing three, doesn't get it to fall, kicks it out to Gordon Hayward, and Gordon Hayward gets a three. So great effort there by Biyombo and Rozier to get that shot to Gordon Hayward for a three. So we got a 21-point game. 71-50. We'll be back with more. This is Ask Isaiah, and this is the Game of the Day by Isaiah. Hornets lead the Clippers 71-50. Pardon me, the Clippers lead the Hornets 71-50. Clippers get the ball back, up 21 on Isaiah Rhodes. This is an Ask Isaiah presentation of a Game of the Day by Isaiah. Clippers up 71-50, but there is a bit of momentum going to the Hornets. The Hornets have been able to scrap and claw, try to keep it presentable. They've been able to knock down huge three-point shots. They've been efficient from the three-point line. But outside of that, they haven't gotten much. Paul George with the basketball has been in control all night, guarded by Terry Rozier. 9:33 remaining in the third. Reggie Jackson on the left wing goes over to Morris, back to Paul at the top of the key. In and out dribble, takes Zubac, pick and roll, kick out to Morris. Morris thought about a three. He takes the three. He makes the three. So big three for Morris, just to quell any type of momentum that could potentially be brewing for the Hornets. Rozier over to Hayward. Hayward up fakes, kicks out to the likes of Ball. They work it over to Rozier in the right corner, fade away three, good, right in front of the Clippers bench. So the 3-point line for the Hornets, 9 of 22. The Clippers, 8 of 19. George, guarded by Ball. Let's see what Paul wants to do with LaMelo. Instead, he goes to Morris. Morris with 5 on the shot clock. He has to get the shot off. He takes the three. He misses it horribly. Rebounded by Hayward. Hayward crosses that timeline. Going left. Pick and roll with Biyombo back right. Biyombo goes to P.J. Washington. Washington finds Hayward. Hayward kicks out to Biyombo. Biyombo takes a mid-range jumper. Doesn't fall. Kawhi Leonard straightaway three. Top of the key. Back rims it. Rebounded by LaMelo. LaMelo trying to push. Finds Rozier. Rozier drive and kick out to LaMelo. From the C in the Staples Center. That three is good. Big three for LaMelo Ball. As Ball is trying to get his right hand flexed a bit. He's been holding that right hand for a while. He's still being aggressive, so it's interesting to see what's going on with his hand there. Took that three and was able to knock that down, no problem. You think back to the legend that is LaMelo. We can go back to when he was 14 years old playing AAU. One of his first moments going viral was when he took a half-court three mid-game. He just walked straight into it, took it, made it, and then after that he started doing it on a consistent basis. So he has the range. He's developed that over, an extended period of time. So anytime you're playing the Hornets, you have to be wary of where he is as a shooter. Since he's become a starter, he's been shooting 39% from three. So his efficiency from three is there. He's aggressive. So far, he's been efficient, but the Hornets need something a little bit more prolific. Ball kicking out to Rozier. Rozier for three. He misses it from rim. Rebounded by Morris. Clippers up by 20, 76 to 56. Kawhi Leonard thought about a three. Instead goes to Zubac inside. Zubac is fouled by P.J. Washington. All of this Zubac activity can be traced back to the early part of this game when the Clippers were feeding him intently, making sure they put a point of emphasis on him exploiting the Hornets. Like I said, anytime you feed your big man very, very early, that keeps him engaged for the game throughout. So the Clippers, especially while Zubac is starting for an extended period of time without Ibaka, wow, what a pass from LaMelo again over to Hayward. In the process of me explaining Zubac, Kawhi got a floater off the backboard. He misses it. LaMelo comes down in one motion and is able to get an outlet pass with the left hand over to Hayward in stride. Hayward took 2 steps, goes up for the layup, is fouled. That level of passing is why LaMelo is projected to be so great. Yes, he has the flash. Yes, he's LeVar Ball's son. All of that is true. But when you look at the level of IQ that he has and the skill that he has to make others better, it can lend itself to a very, very long career at a high level. You look at the likes of Jason Kidd, you look at the likes of Steve Nash, even LeBron James. The fact that LeBron James has been able to dominate at such an older age compared to most is because his greatest skill has nothing to do with scoring. Yes, he's going to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record, and he's going to do so with relative ease and durability. Outside of the fact that he has a high ankle sprain and will be out indefinitely, Obviously, the Lakers don't want to see that. But again, to see the level with which he plays at as a passer, that has extended his ability to score at the latter part of his career. LaMelo is 19 years old making these passes. You have to give credit where it's due, and he's an exceptional passer. In the process of me talking about in gushing over LaMelo Ball's passing ability, Paul George comes back with another basket and one opportunity after splitting defenses at the top of the key. He goes straight at Bismack Biyombo for an and one opportunity. Strong finish with the right hand off the glass. He makes the layup. He'll be going to the free throw line trying to get to 21 points tonight. Clippers up 21, 78 to 57. He makes the free throw. The initial free throws that Hayward got off of that great LaMelo pass, Hayward makes both free throws. Hayward, with the basketball, drives baseline, goes to Rozier. LaMelo at the top of the key, drives on Reggie Jackson. Floater inside, no good. Hornets get the offensive rebound. Back to LaMelo. LaMelo takes a screen from Biyombo, tries to get a scoop shot with the left hand, no good. And we got a foul that'll go against Biyombo. That right there is the rookie experience coming to a head. LaMelo trying to be aggressive, a bit too aggressive and out of control. He got the reset. Biyombo got him the ball. He tries to prove that he's not afraid, which you like the aggressiveness, you like the fearlessness, but you would like to see a bit more efficiency, not so much recklessness. We got a foul. Clippers basketball. As we see, LaMelo got his right hand wrapped. He has a black wrap around his right hand. He's still playing, still being aggressive, but there might be some soreness there. Zubac at the free throw line. He makes the first, so the Hornets are in the penalty. Coming back into the game for the Hornets, Miles Bridges. Bridges has made a number of three-point shots tonight. Zubac 3 of 3 from the free throw line on the season, 81%. It's always good to have a big man that can shoot really, really well from three, especially because the big is in the paint where it's so much physicality. You're bound to get foul calls, and you want to have a big that isn't afraid to go to that line when it matters most. Bridges with the basketball, 13 on the shot clock, gets it to Rozier on the left wing. He's guarded by Zubac. Rozier likes this mismatch, trying to go off the dribble, loses the dribble. Finds LaMelo on the reset. Three is no good, rebounded. Paul George with the basketball, slows down, guarded by Ball. Takes a screen from Zubac. Zubac with the pass inside. What a pass from Paul George, and Zubac gets a slam. So, Clippers up by 26, 83 to 57. Hornets have to call timeout. We'll be back with more. This is a game by day. This is a game of day by Zay, and Ask Isaiah presentation of NBA basketball. Clippers ahead, 83 to 57. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Clippers lead 83 to 57, in control. They've been able to find Zubac here in the second half off of the aggressiveness from Paul George. George in control all night, like I've said ad nauseum. One of the things that we've seen from him, he's been utilizing his entire repertoire. Going off the dribble, playing with poise, knocking down the three-point shot. He's being aggressive, attacking the basket, and in doing so, he's been able to find the likes of Zubac and Patrick Patterson, in particular, players who have had to play off of stars to get the best out of their offensive game. So that's working tonight. On the defensive end, they just made life a living hell for the Hornets and their guards, specifically LaMelo Ball. Ball's struggling tonight. He's still being aggressive, way more aggressive in the second half than he was in the first. So that's good to see. But he just isn't getting the ball to fall in the basket tonight. One thing that the Hornets can say is they're knocking down the three, but that's all they've been able to get because in the paint, the Clippers are swarming. They're getting strips. Anything off the dribble is being hounded at a level that they probably haven't experienced in a while. Again, they're 6-4 in the last 10. They've been rolling, but the last two games, specifically against Denver, in which they got blown out, and then losing a relatively easy game for the Lakers. The score isn't indicative of how dominant the Lakers were during that game. The latter part of the fourth quarter, Hornets started to make shots to make the score a bit more cosmetic. So right now they're going through a really, really tough stretch in their schedule. Uh, these next 18 minutes of gameplay can tell a lot about who they are from a competitive standpoint. And if they can make a dent in this lead for the Clippers, then maybe they'll do enough to, build some momentum going forward for their next game. So let's see how it turns out. Clippers in control with the basketball. No, pardon me. They're on defense. They're on defense. Out of the time, I look like Paul was gonna go get the ball to dribble for a second. Pardon me. Hornets with the ball. 5:33 remaining. LaMelo over to Rozier three. He misses it bad. Rebounded by Batum. Reggie Jackson slows down. Hits that right wing. Takes a screen. Looking for Zubac inside. He goes to Batum to set up Zubac. Zubac finds Kawhi cutting to the basket for a two-hand slam and one opportunity. So great ball movement there. The initial play was to set up action for Zubac. Instead of going from Reggie Jackson to Zubac, they went Batum, Zubac to Kawhi, cutting baseline, LaMelo Ball with the foul. Great find to find Kawhi cutting to that basket and one opportunity. Free throw is good for Kawhi. So the Clippers on a 10-0 run over the last minute and 30 seconds of game time. 86-57, Clippers are up. They're 16 of 16 from the free throw line. PJ Washington kicks out to Rozier. Rozier guarded by Kawhi Leonard. Mid-range free throw line extended jumper, no good. Paul George over to Lou Will. Left wing three is no good. Rebounded and chased down by LaMelo. LaMelo attacking the paint, looking to get a shot off. They say the foul is on the ground rather than being uh, in the act of shooting. Sure, the Hornets would want that more than the foul itself. They need LaMelo to get in a in a rhythm. In a rhythm. 4:44 remaining. LaMelo heads to the bench. Miles Bridges to Devontae Graham. Graham kicks out to Bridges. Right wing three, good. Again, the 3-point line has been there for the Hornets all night. So far tonight, 11 of 27 from three, compared to the Clippers' 8 of 21. Paul George guarded by Cody Martin. He goes to Kawhi on the left wing, guarded by Bridges. 3-point shot for Kawhi, no good. Rebounded. Initially, it was going to be PJ Washington, but Zubac went over the top to deflect that out of bounds. So we have 4 minutes remaining in the third. Martin working the right sideline, kicks out to Bridges again for three. Good. So Bridges is finding the spots. He's finding the weak points in the Clippers defense. Everything in the paint is shut down, so they're kicking it out to the shooters. Bridges is knocking it down. What a block by PJ Washington on the initial layup attempt by Zubac. They called a foul. PJ is adamant he didn't touch him. If you look at the replay from the bird's eye view, you see Zubac attack with that left hand blocked by PJ. It looks like all ball, but maybe they call the foul at the bottom. So it'll be a challenge. 86-63, Clippers lead the Hornets. We'll be back with more. This is the Ask Isaiah presentation of A Game a Day by Zay. Clippers lead the Hornets. And after the review, we have a reversal. They say that PJ did not foul Zubac on that lay-in. So We have a jump ball. It'll be with PJ Washington, and pardon me, it will be with Bridges. It'll be with Miles Bridges and Zubac. Bridges wins the tip. Graham with the basketball, trailing by 23, 86-63. Bridges at the top of the key. He's already knocked down a number of threes tonight. He's able to kick out to Rozier, back out to Bridges. Another three for Miles Bridges. Another three for Miles Bridges. That'll be his fifth three-pointer tonight. He has 15 points. Kawhi Leonard in the post, guarded by Washington. He's fouled. Kawhi tonight, calm and collected. 3 of 3 tonight from the free throw line. Shoots 87% from the line. First free throw for Kawhi is good. The next game for the Clippers will be Monday against the Hawks. The Hawks defeated the Lakers tonight, well, earlier today, 99-94. The story from that game is the high ankle sprain by LeBron James. Solomon Hill rolled up on his foot, and he suffered the ankle sprain, tried to stay in the game, knocked in a three-point shot, and then immediately left the game. So it showed you the amount of pain that James was actually in. So he'll be out indefinitely. They say that a high ankle sprain can heal between anywhere from 3 weeks to 8 weeks. The Lakers are already without Anthony Davis for an extended period of time, dealing with some lower calf and Achilles issues. So having both of those players out at this time is a very, very daunting task for any Laker to have to imagine. But they are in a comfortable space in the standings, so they don't have to worry about falling too far. But you don't want to see James and Anthony out for too long to where the Lakers have to revamp have to revamp just to get back into the swing of things in terms of contention. As we look at a couple of things that happened while I was talking about LeBron, Jalen Mann got a fast break opportunity at the rim, able to finish on the right side of the rim with the right hand, shielding his body against Malik Monk, who was trying to attempt to block that. So strong finish there. Miles Bridges misses a three, and on the rebound, a loose ball foul by Bridges trying to prevent Nicholas Batum fast break opportunity. So Batum makes the first free throw, 2:30 remaining. Clippers up 91-66. Second free throw for Batum is good. So 92-66, 2:28 remaining. Approach 2 minutes remaining in the third. This game is out of hand right now. I think if you're the Hornets, you're just trying to build some momentum going into the next game. Kick out initially for Devontae Graham. Great defense playing the passing lane. Bob Batum gets the deflection. So it'll be baseline out of bounds for the Hornets. Inbound, it will be Cody Martin. Inbound to Bridges. Bridges jab steps, take the left wing three. Good. Another three for Bridges. He's going back. He's backpedaling, smiling. So that is his 15-pointer. I initially thought he had 15 on this last three, but he has 15 points, all 3-point shots, 5 of 8 from 3. In response, Jalen Mann knocks in a layup, but to come back down court, great alley-oop slam to Miles Bridges with one hand. So Bridges now with 17 points. He's getting hot here in this third quarter. Lou Williams comes back on the mid-range jumper, hits the back rim and falls in. He now has 12 points, 3 of 7 from the floor. Gordon Hayward guarded by Jalen Mann. Fadeaway jumper for Hayward, good. Score is 96-73. We approach 1 minute remaining. Hayward tonight, 17 points, 6 rebounds. Kawhi kicks it to man. Man back rims the three, rebounded. Hayward in and out, looking to get into the lane. Has his dribble deflected by Kawhi. Kawhi thought about a three, goes to Lou Will, left wing three, no good, back rims it, rebounded by Patrick Patterson. Patrick Patterson gets it to Lou Will. Lou Will on the right wing, guarded by Devontae Graham. 8 on the shot clock. He goes to Batum. Kicks out to Kawhi. Kawhi goes to the corner. Finds man. Man inside, goes off the glass. The basket is good. Great ball movement there by the Clippers to push their lead to 25, 98-73. 25 seconds left. We got an 8-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Graham, right wing, guarded by man. 5, 4, step back three, fouled by Jalen Mann. I know head coach Ty Lue is furious. You don't ever foul a jump shooter, especially a jump shooter at the three-point line. As we look at this alley-oop slam from Miles Bridges, great alley-oop set up by Devontae Graham to find Bridges on a fast break, able to catch that with one hand and slam it home. Great athleticism there by Miles Bridges. So Graham makes the first free throw. 10.3 left in the third quarter. As we look at Devontae, he was first team All-American for the 2017-18 season with Kansas, averaged 17 points per game. So Paul George back into the game. Paul George, as I said, has dominated all night. Much respect to Paul. And the last free throw for Graham, good. So 3 of 3 from the free throw line. 22-point lead, 98-76. 5 on the clock. Lou Will attacking. Floater. And it doesn't fall. Rolled around every ounce of the rim before rolling off. So we'll go into the fourth. Clippers up by 22. 98-76. I'm going to ask Isaiah Rhodes. This is Ask Isaiah YouTube page presentation of NBA basketball. A game a day by Zay, where the Clippers lead the Hornets 98-76. Stay tuned for the fourth quarter. Welcome back as we start this fourth quarter of the Clippers versus the Hornets. We look at the top-notch performance from both teams so far. I mentioned Paul George all night, 21 points, 8 assists, 4 of 7 from 3. The Hornets have Gordon Hayward as their leading scorer with 17 points, 4 assists, 3 of 5 from 3. We also have to shout out Miles Bridges, who's starting to come on strong from 3. He has 17 as well with 5 3-point shots for the Hornets. With that said, though, the Clippers have dominated in the paint tonight. They got great contributions from Ivica Zubac, Reggie Jackson. Kawhi Leonard has been playing his part, not really pressing the gas too much, but playing within the offense, being cohesive. Nicholas Batum playing great defense. Reggie Jackson had a great contribution as well throughout the game, especially early in that first quarter. So the Clippers in control all the way through. This game is a foregone conclusion. The rest of the score is more so cosmetic, but we're going to give you the final 12 minutes anyway. So looking at where the Clippers are going to go from here to play the Hawks coming up. You know, you look at the potency of their offense, how explosive they can be. The trajectory of this season has changed with head coach Lloyd Pierce being fired. Interim head coach Nate McMillan takes over. Nate McMillan's history as a head coach is well documented in Indiana for a long time, keeping that team competitive, playing uh, playing the hand he's dealt, getting the most out of his rosters in Indiana and in Portland. He's been a perennial playoff performer. His job right now is to make sure that this Atlanta team has an opportunity to uh, compete for a playoff team, especially compete for a playoff spot. Excuse me. They're going to come into the Staples Center looking to sweep LA. They just got this tough victory against the Lakers, obviously without LeBron James for the second half. But if you can come into LA and get a win against the Clippers, also that speaks volumes. If you're the Clippers, you want to continue the momentum that you have had against the Hornets. Sprinkle that into the Hawks game for 48 minutes. You get two big wins against two potential playoff teams in the East. That should continue to boost confidence. So we'll get the final 12 minutes to you very, very shortly. One of the things I will say that the Clippers have to be careful with that that has been able to be exploited is the 3-point shot. While the Hornets are getting dominated, the they have been able to knock down the three, specifically um, off of scrambles and ball movement. So when you look at what the Hawks have, obviously Trae Young is the starting point guard. He is the ultimate shooter. If he can get going and spread that floor, open things up for his team, and then they start knocking threes down, anything can happen. So we got a moving screen called against Patrick Patterson to start the fourth quarter. Clippers up by 22 again, 98-76. Devontae Graham with the basketball, takes the screen, goes to Bridges on the pick and roll, back out to Graham. Graham with the mismatch has Patrick Patterson on him, 8 on the shot clock. He pulls up for three. He bailed him out there, but he misses the three. Clippers looking to attack. Jalen Mann couldn't get the finish, but he's fouled. Good effort there by Jalen Mann on a fast break. Being aggressive, he'll be going to free throw line for two. Man out of Florida State, as I mentioned earlier. He really came alive for the Clippers in the latter part of the season, especially in the bubble when they were wrapping up the season, preparing for the playoffs. Now, with the struggles that they've had at the point guard position, he's been tasked with carrying the role of being a secondary backup point guard. Uh, he's playing it to the best of his ability tonight with 10 points, 4 or 5 from the floor. He's played 12 minutes tonight, so he's doing his part. The youth is his only issue, but the more experience he gets, the more time he plays. By the time we get to the end of the season, you never know what could happen. Missed three for Haywood, offensive rebound there for Bridges. He gets to put back 22-point game again, 100-78. Bridges tonight, 7 of 10 from the floor, 19 points, 5 of those from three. So skip pass from Paul George over to the left wing. Lou Will jab step guarded by Cody Martin. He's working baseline, pulls up for the jumper, back rims it, rebounded by Haywood. Haywood crosses the timeline, looking to go off the dribble, pull up jumper over Lou Will, no good. Rebounded by Batum. Paul George, comfortable tonight, doing everything he wants. Kicks out to Batum. Batum takes contact. Initially tried to slam it. Good foul there from Monk to deflect the shot, but it rolls right into the rim. So this is played off of Paul George's aggressiveness. Again, moving off the basketball is paramount for any scorer. You move to the action. You look at what Batum did. He flashed to the rim. Paul found him. He was able to get a strong finish. Now, Batum tonight, 4-4 at the free throw line, looking to get to 5 for 5, 10 points, 5 rebounds for Batum. Free throw is good. So, Clippers up 25. LaMelo Ball looking on. Obviously, had a tough game. He actually injures his shooting hand as well, so we'll have to keep a keep a close eye on that for the next couple of days to see what happens with the Hornets and how they manage that. He definitely played through whatever soreness he had on his right hand. It was very aggressive. He didn't get the same shots to fall, but he was aggressive definitely in the second half. We look at the premier matchups at the rookie of the year positions. You got Anthony Edwards averaging close to 17 points. Uh, Tyrese Halliburton of the Kings averaging 12, 5 assists. And then you have LaMelo's all-around performance. So this rookie class is definitely making a good name for themselves. Free throw for Graham, good. So he makes both. He makes both. We're under 10 minutes to play. Lou with the basketball. Lou will takes the screen from Batum, dribble handoff back to Paul George. George, pull up jumper. No good from rim, rebounded by Cody Martin. Over to Monk. Malik Monk. Over to Graham, left wing three, no good. Rebounded by Jalen Mann. Mann looks to push the pace. Mann over to Batum, back to the corner. We get a three from Morris. He can't knock it down from the left corner. Rebounded by Bridges. Bridges over to Graham. Graham was trying to get that pass to Bridges. It eventually goes to Bridges, but many thought that would have been a Palmer violation. The refs didn't call it. You got more, Paul George looking for man under the basket. Strong finish for Jalen, man. One hand slam off a vert. 8:54 remaining. Great find from Paul George. Great find from Paul George. Clippers up 105-80. Stay tuned. So Clippers in control. They're doing what they want to do. Right now the score is basically cosmetic. Paul George just forced the Hornets to call that timeout. Great find inside for Jalen Mann off of the uh, vertical one hand slam as LaMelo trying to get a pass. It was intended for Cody Martin. It was stolen by Lou Will. Lou Will finds Marcus Morris for a finish. So right now, you look at the Clippers up 27, 8:25 remaining. You look at LaMelo Ball, 4 of 12 from the floor tonight. Just doesn't have it going. It's it's not just him, it's the entire team right now. Outside of Miles Bridges, look at PJ Washington. Washington's been relatively quiet tonight. And we got a kick ball, so possession will stay with the Hornets. 14 on the shot clock, 8:15 remaining. This is Isaiah Rose, Ask Isaiah. This is the Ask Isaiah YouTube page presentation of NBA basketball. Game of day by Zay. West Coast game, 10 o'clock. We got the Clippers and Hornets. Ball trying to attack again. He draws the foul. He be going to the free throw line. 4-2. I'm sure if you're coach Ty Lue, you don't want to see that clock stop in any way, shape, or form. You want to keep your players healthy and that clock running so you can get out of Staples Center with a win. LaMelo misses that first free throw. Second free throw on the way. It's good. LaMelo now with 12. In the post, Morris guarded by Biyombo. On the left block, jab, step, jab, step. Goes off the dribble, pull up jumper from rim, no good. Rebounded by LaMelo Ball. Ball trying to attack. Takes the screen from Biyombo mid drive. to get that clear out, he'll be going to the free throw line again. So with any scorer, I always say, you want to move off the ball as one facet of versatility in scoring. You want to get to the free throw line also. I mentioned that with Lou Will earlier. Getting to the free throw line gives you your rhythm. It puts the onus on yourself to get in zone without having to exert much energy. Your free throw shooting is there. You get your shot. You get your shot in pocket. You get a rhythm with the basketball, and now the basketball, the rim looks like an ocean, and the basketball is like a little pebble. So with that said, LaMelo goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. He heads to the bench probably for the rest of the game tonight. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 of 12 from the floor. Lou Will thought about a 3, goes to Jalen Mann. Mann over to Paul George with Biombo on the mismatch. Pulls up for 3, misses it. Great effort there by Nicholas Batum to find Jalen Mann. Initially, that initial rebound was supposed to go to PJ Washington. Great effort by Batum to deflect that and get it to Jalen Mann for a slam. So great effort there from Batum. Caleb Martin into the game now. Takes a straightaway 3, unable to knock it down. Malik Monk does the same thing from the same spot and gets the same result. Missed 3, rebounded by Paul George. George on the left wing gets inside, kicks out the Batum, skip pass over to Lou Will. Lou Will drives, going towards the baseline, pulls up for the 3 and knocks it down. So the Clippers now up by 30, 112 to 82, 6:31 remaining. And we got a timeout as Luke Kennard now enters the game. Clippers up 30, 112 to 82. Stay tuned for more. I'm Isaiah Rose. This is a game a day by Zay. Clippers lead the Hornets 112 to 82. Stay tuned. Welcome back as the Clippers now up 30, 112 to 82. They've been getting Welcome back as the Clippers are up 112 to 82. They've been in control the entire night. They've been getting everything that they want. Paul George really set the tone, and now at the latter part of this game, you're starting to see the bench really get into their groove. Jalen Mann has been making some spectacular plays. Lou Williams, obviously known for his pedigree as a premier bench player for his entire career, coming off of injuries to start this season, he's starting to catch a groove. And this game alone right here should be enough to get you going for a couple of weeks. I mean, they're getting everything that they want. And right now, the Hornets are just too overmatched. Simple as that. We finish out this final fourth quarter. We also look at some bench contributions as they show Marcus Morris. He also has a quiet 13 points, 5 of 9 from the floor. Basically, if you were on the court for any extended period of time for the Clippers tonight, you got some great shots at the rim set up for you by Paul George, and you got some easy baskets. Everybody has to be efficient tonight. It'll be interesting to see the field goal percentage for the Clippers at the end of this game, because everything that they got, for the most part, all cash. So out of the timeout, we get a 3 from Bridges. He doesn't get it to fall. Jalen Mann, stop and pop, pull up jumper, no good from rims, rebounded by Bridges. Bridges surveying the floor, goes over to Martin. I gotta see the number to determine which Martin it is. It's Cody Martin. Pardon me, that was Caleb Martin. He goes to Cody Martin, and then PJ Washington is there, kicks out to Caleb Martin. He misses a layup with the right hand. They go over to PJ Washington for 3. He can't get the three to fall, and we got a wedgie. So with a wedgie, that means the ball was stuck between the rim and the backboard, and we're gonna get a jump ball. As they look at the replay, great defense there by Jalen Mann to prevent Caleb Martin's first basket of the game. His brother Cody Martin kicks it to PJ for the three, and we got a jump ball because the ball went between the rim and the backboard. 5:47 remaining. Clippers up 30. 112-82. And Bismack Biyombo wins the tip into the game for the Clippers. Now, Mfiondu uh, Kabengele. Basket is good. Hornets now inside 30. They're at 28. 3-point shot for Luke Kennard. Pardon me, that was Amir Coffey that tried to get that shot. Wasn't good. PJ Washington responds with an alley-oop opportunity. He gets the basket to fall. Luke Kennard with the basketball. He gets it over to Jalen Mann. Jalen Mann dribble handoff. Right corner crossover dribble going into the lane. Thought about a shot. Kicks it out. Mann thought about the shot. Unable to get a clean shot off, and the Clippers get a shot clock violation. That was Daniel Oturu, the last to have the ball. He's not used to being in the game and getting real minutes, so I'm sure Ty Lue wants to see better execution, especially being up by as much as they are right now. You don't want to surrender any momentum. As PJ Washington tried to finish that layup, no good on that layup possession to go back to the Clippers. Kennard crosses that timeline. Luke Kennard is an interesting case because the Clippers did sign him to a 4-year contract. He was supposed to be one of their premier offseason contributors, especially as a shooter coming from Detroit. But he's been really inconsistent with how he's been used. He knocks in the three there, but sometimes Lou has him in the rotation consistently. Then sometimes he's not in there at all. Like perfect example tonight, he hasn't played. So um, it's interesting to see how he's used going forward on a consistent basis. But I think considering his contract, you would expect him to be in the rotation a bit more. K. Jelly picks up the foul, trying to stop Cody Martin from getting an easy basket. So, pardon me, that's Caleb Martin, number 10. Caleb Martin. He was the Mountain West Conference Player of the Year in 2018. First free throw was good. Into the game now for the Bobcats. The Hornets, Jalen McDaniels. Second free throw is no good. Rebounded by Mann. Jalen Mann putting in some great minutes tonight. Jumper is no good. That shot taken by Daniel Oturu. Offensive rebound, Luke Kennard. Kennard over the man inside. What a finish as he contorts his body going left, but finishes with the right hand on the left side. Man tonight, 7 of 9 from the field, 16 points. Cody Martin for 3, no good. Rebounded by Luke Kennard. 117-87 in the post. Oturu trying to finish. Turnaround jumper. He can't get that to fall. Fighting for that rebound. The Hornets come down with it. This is Cody Martin. He gets it over to McDaniels. And McDaniels is fouled driving to the basket. Oturu picks up that foul. First free throw for McDaniels is good. He gets his first point of the game. 6'9", 205 out of San Diego State. He's in his second season. Second free throw is good. Left wing Jalen Mann looking for Cuban Jelly. He can't get that basket to fall. Into the game also for the Hornets, Vernon Carey Jr. He gets that rebound. And McDaniels gets more points, gets his first basket of the game. 117-91 as we approach 2 minutes remaining. Again, these points here in the latter part of this fourth, all cosmetic. The result has been well in hand for quite some time now. Coffee chases down a Clippers miss. 7 on the shot clock inside 2 minutes. Coffee kicks out, 3-point shot. K-Ben Jelly knocks it down. He knocks down a 3, so 120-91 in the post. Looking for Cody Martin. His jumper rims out, rebounded once again by Jalen Mann. Mann gets it over to Kennard. Kennard jab step left wing, drives right. Free throw line extended jumper is good. So Luke Kennard getting his numbers in the game book. 3-point shot for McDaniels is good over 2 Clippers defenders. So he's getting his money's worth in his short period of time. As we approach 1 minute remaining. Mann trying to get it to K-Ben Jelly. Pull up 3, back rims it. Fighting for that rebound was McDaniels. Oturu gets the rebound, kicks it to Kennard. Kennard can't get the rebound. Miles Bridges, what a pass. That pass was beautiful to Cody Martin. Great find to Cody Martin on the fast break. So Kennard content to just dribble this out. 30 seconds left in the game. Clippers thoroughly dominated from start to finish. They got everything they wanted. And just before the shot clock expired, Kennard knocks down another 3 for the Clippers tonight. Tonight has been one of the most efficient nights in Clippers history. It has to be. They've been able to knock down every single shot. Haven't gotten much turnovers tonight. When you look at what they've been able to do, they have a 14-3 record this season when they get 25 or more assists. Tonight, 26 assists. Their record is 12-13 when they get 25 or fewer. They also shot over 45% from 3 tonight. So when you think about that, think about the efficiency with which they played. They've been able to push the pace all night. They got versatile scoring and playmaking from Paul George. That lended itself and set the table for everyone else. This was a thoroughly dominating win for the Clippers, something that they can take and put in their bank to lean on as a foundation. Not to say that the Hornets would be title contenders, but they did what they were supposed to do against a team that's very, very competitive. So big win for the Clippers, 125-98. Paul George tonight, 21 points, 8 assists. He hit 4 3-point shots. He was dominant start to finish. Big shout out also to Ivica Zubac, Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson, Jalen Mann. Jalen Mann had a great game. He was going to go unnoticed, obviously, with the efficiency and the scoring, is he had an exceptional game on the boards. He was able to attack consistently off the boards and push. He had some strong finishes at the rim as well. And for the Clippers, like I said, they tried. They just were overwhelmed, overmatched. It was but so much that they could really do against a team like the Clippers. But they have to learn from this. They had a tough game against the Denver Nuggets. Then that parlayed itself into a game against the Lakers that was overmatched as well. The last couple of minutes were cosmetic in nature, and the score looked a lot closer than it actually was. Then you parlay that game into a Clippers game. So this is really them realizing where they are, and it's not to deter them from building, but it's to show them where they are amongst the best, and then they have a benchmark that they have to reach on the margins, whether it be taking care of the basketball, making your free throws, finishing in finishing easy baskets inside. All of those little things add up to the type of team that you want to be, especially when you're contending for a playoff spot and building toward a championship. So, just to give you a quick recap in box score breakdown, I mentioned Paul George all night. Also, I want to point out Jalen Man, or I'm calling him Jalen Man, Terrence Man. Excuse me, I was calling Terrence Man, Jalen Man all night. But Terrence Man, 7 of 10 from the floor, 16 points. He was aggressive all night, got to the boards. He was able to attack. So Terrence Man, excuse me, I was calling him Jalen Man all night. Terrence Mann, great performance. He had 4 rebounds. Nicholas Batum, his numbers will go unnoticed also. But Batum had 11 points. He had five rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, great contributions in the otherworldly dominant game. So you got to give respect to them in that regard as well. So this is a game a day by Zay. I'm Isaiah Rhodes, Ask Isaiah. This is the Ask Isaiah YouTube page presentation of NBA basketball, where the Clippers defeated the Charlotte Hornets 125-98 to improve their record to 27-16, while Charlotte record falls to 20-21. We will be back tomorrow with another game by Zay. I'll be back to show you that, break that down, give you the play-by-play and all things basketball. Stay tuned for more. I appreciate you for watching. Peace.